Missouri Valley wraps up the year of COVID on a streak of success, opening student events and making plans for graduation. I'm Marina Diaz, and this is the final installment of KMVC News for the academic year. Missouri Valley saw a run of days without an active COVID case turns into a string of weeks, and now has a streak of months. MVC isn't reporting any active COVID-19 cases in the campus population. The last active case was more than 2 months ago in early February, and the active case count was never more than 2 during the first few weeks of the spring semester. So Missouri Valley College met the challenges of COVID with resilience, and as KMVC's Leland Harvey reports, a few changes along the way.
COVID affected everyone this year. From students to teachers, we all had to find ways to work around our newfound guidelines. Sarah Fletcher, a studio art teacher, expresses her feelings about adjusting to the school year.
The students have been extra stressed, but also the silver lining is that their art has been great, maybe even the best this year, because they really needed art, so we kind of figured out how much you need it.
Amber Bills, an art general assistant, says that social distancing can get in the way of scheduling.
I think it's been a little stressful for everyone since, we've had to deal with trying to schedule class time around social distancing, so limiting people's class time.
Hunter Ring, a volleyball player at the college, says that the mask became a problem for him.
I think the biggest thing was the mask, coming back, having to be prepped up with the mask and everything, not only for classes but also for practices as well. There are the occasional times we have to wear it indoors while we're practicing, and that sometimes could be a hassle.
Some students think that being at college during the pandemic was an opportunity to learn how to live during the pandemic.
I think it was very different, but I think going through school during this point put me on the positive end of a learning curve, because we got to learn how to deal with this stuff, not in the work field, but in the classroom.
The pandemic brought many challenges to all, but Missouri Valley remains standing strong. Leland Harvey, KMVC News.
The overall health of the student population allowed Missouri Valley to reevaluate its plans for student activities and events, and outdoor events. The largest of the outdoor events is the plan for graduation. KMVC's Adam Balkin reports Missouri Valley is preparing to have a ceremony for the class of 21 and the class of 2020.
COVID numbers are declining in our country, and things are slowly changing in a positive direction. Missouri Valley College is only allowing 3 guests per graduate. The 3-guest limit includes children and babies. The original plan is for the ceremony to be held on Greg Mitchell Field at 2 p.m. If the weather forecast is calling for an afternoon shower on May 1st, the ceremony will be moved to 11 a.m. In case of inclement weather lasting the entire day, the ceremony will be moved to the Burns Gym, where no guests will be allowed due to limited space. MVC 2020 graduate Mylisha Butner plans on attending the ceremony, even though she's attending another school pursuing her master's degree.
So my plans are actually to attend graduation. Even though I've moved on to a higher level education, I still want to attend, because I feel like this graduation is something for me, it's something I will only get once.
Office Registrar Kaylee Barnes is also a 2020 graduate who plans to not attend, but to watch from her point of view.
So I did graduate in that class, and I'm not participating just because I'm working here, but I think it's mixed.
Adam Balkin, KMVC News.
The ceremony is May 1st at 2 on Greg Mitchell Field. Masks are required for everyone in attendance. Graduation is also streaming through the Viking Sports Network site. Links are available on moval.edu. Missouri Valley also watched how its latest Spectator Policy might impact campus health. So outdoor sports like lacrosse were able to hold senior day ceremonies. KMVC's Shay Wilson reports on the ticket to spectator changes at sporting events.
Active since March 29th, students have been allowed to attend all home sporting events. Faculty and staff are allowed 1 guest for every event, and athletes have been allowed 2 family members for at-home events and 3 at postseason home events.
We only have 2 tickets per player, Since it was senior day, some of my teammates allowed the seniors to take some of their tickets.
Athletes allowing other teammates to use their tickets has been very common at Missouri Valley. While against policy, Moval has no one enforcing it at many events.
So there wasn't anyone checking in, the families and spectators, so honestly, people kind of just rolled in.
All spectators on campus are required to wear a mask and may be subjected to temperature checks upon arriving. Athletes have been encouraged not to share their tickets and to keep the guest limit too. Upcoming graduation has allowed graduates 3 guests if weather permits. Shay Wilson, KMVC News.
The Missouri Valley Student Research Symposium is making its return to the academic calendar for the first time since December 2019. The symposium is campus-wide in its reach in showcasing projects from across Valley's majors. And KMVC's Erica Moreno reports this semester's symposium is campus-wide to meet COVID guidelines.
The Student Research Symposium is taking place in the Malcolm Center. With COVID being a present thing, Professor Claire Schmidt says that there are going to be program facilitators encouraging social distancing and adhere to the room capacities based on social distancing, as well as other accommodations due to COVID-19.
Doing an electronic program this year, so instead of printing the program, you'll just have it all on your phone, which will make it faster in many ways and is pretty environmentally friendly. So those are the big changes.
There are about 60 entries this semester. There will be multiple different sessions such as oral sessions, poster sessions, amongst others.
Require masks, obviously, while anyone is on campus, so that applies to our event. And we have a new set of program facilitators that throughout the symposium will be around in the hallways to encourage social distancing.
The hosts of the Student Research Symposium are hoping to be able to live stream the oral sessions in case people who aren't able to attend physically can be there virtually. Erica Moreno, KMVC News.
The symposium is April 26 and has events set for both floors of the Malcolm Center and in the Eccleston Mabee Theater. And here to talk about spring sports wrapping up is Cooper Bryant.
Thank you, Marina. It's been a generation since Missouri Valley has had a road trip like this. The Missouri Valley women's soccer team traveled to Williamsburg, Kentucky for the opening round of the NAIA National Tournament. It was the first Vikings appearance in the national tournament since 1991, where they fell in the national championship game. This year, the Vikings had a solid group ahead of them, as first they took on number 22 Trinity Christian College and earned a 3-2 victory over the Trolls. The Vikings advanced to play the University of the Cumberland's Patriots in the regional final, where Valley fell to the Patriots 3-2 after scoring the opening goal of the contest. The women's soccer team ends its season with an overall record of 13-8 and secures the Vikings' first win in the national tournament since 1991. The Missouri Valley men's soccer team is preparing to host the opening round of the NAIA Men's Soccer National Championship this week after finishing second in the Heart of America Athletic Conference in both the regular season and the Heart postseason tournament. The Vikings fell to Central Methodist University 2-0 in the conference tournament final on Saturday, but that doesn't change anything with the national tournament for this week, as both the Eagles and the Vikings are set to play in the opening round of the national tournament. The Vikings are hosting the University of Rio Grande, Spring Arbor University, and Hastings College in the Marshall bracket in the opening round. Valley takes on Rio Grande on Thursday at 2 in game number 1, and Spring Arbor plays against Hastings at 5 in the second game. The winners of those games square off in the final of the Marshall bracket, with the winner advancing to Columbia County, Georgia, for the remainder of the national tournament. All of the opening round games are available on the Viking Sports Network through ValleyWillRoll.com. The Missouri Valley men's lacrosse team continued its string of qualifying for the postseason play, albeit with a 7th place finish in the KCAC and a trip to Davenport, Iowa for the conference tournament. The Vikings fell to St. Ambrose in the quarterfinals on April 17th. The Bees started quickly, outscoring Valley 5-0 in the first, and they never looked back. St. Ambrose had an 8-goal second quarter to build a 13-4 halftime advantage. The Vikings outscored the Bees in the third, but it wouldn't be enough, as the Vikings fall 21-9 and end their season. Valley ends the season with a 3-8 overall record. The Missouri Valley women's lacrosse team also earned a spot in the Kansas Collegiate Athletic Conference Tournament. The Vikings' 5-5 record tied them for 5th in the conference with William Penn, but an overtime loss to Penn made the Vikings the 6th seed in the postseason tournament. Going against the 3-seed Missouri Baptist in the quarterfinal, Valley lost to the Spartans 13-9 in March. And they fell again 15-11 after coming close to matching the Spartans several times in the second half. But in the end, the early lead for the Spartans was too much to overcome, and the Vikings end their season with an overall record of 5-6. Kaylee Eichelhoff recorded 4 goals and 1 assist, and Kylie Hodgson recorded 3 goals and 2 assists. Cameron Bell led the Spartans with 6 points on 3 goals and 3 assists, while Vikings nemesis Jordan Heuser scored 4 times, giving her 11 goals against Missouri Valley this year. Missouri Valley softball and baseball still plan on holding their Senior Day doubleheaders this Saturday.
Thanks for joining me, Cooper. The Missouri Valley College Division of Fine Arts had an active semester, performing in front of limited audiences, but streaming every major event. This week is its annual spring music concert, and KMVC's Scott Beasley reports on Missouri Valley College spring music concert and chamber music.
Missouri Valley College Division of Fine Arts performed a spring chamber music concert in the Eccleston Maccabee Theater.
I was so excited to play. I like to play on the stage because many people were watching us and say how they feel after the concert. So I like that.
Abel said that it was great that they were able to perform in front of an audience.
I mean, it's kind of a part of our class as well, but it was really just, showing off what we really loved doing, and that was kind of the main reason for it, and I think that's why it went so well. Chamber music is where you get to play with another person or a trio or however many people without a conductor, so you are pretty much trying to play with each other on time, and it's kind of stressful, not gonna lie, but we made it work.
The Missouri Valley College Division of Fine Arts will have another spring concert April 22nd, 23rd, and 24th at 7:30 in the theater. Scott Beasley, KMVC News.
The Spring Chorale Concert is streaming on April 23rd through moval.edu. And so closes a year unlike any other with the celebration of student work and graduation. And with it comes the celebration of the close of a career unlike any other. With her end of her 50th year of work and dedication at Missouri Valley College, transcript clerk and register assistant Sandy Mockles is retiring. Sandy Mockles started working in Valley in 1971, where she worked her first job as the bookstore clerk. And over the years, she has made some friends and memories at Valley that will last a lifetime.
In 2005, I was inducted into the Women's Hall of Fame. And it was fantastic, and my son was traveling at the time, and he said, "Mom, I'm sorry, I can't be there." And I said, "Oh, that's okay." So just about the time that I was going to be inducted, and I was saying, well, my son can't be here, but I know he's wishing me well, he walked in. So I just broke down and cried then.
Registrar Marsha Lashley said that Sandy Mockles isn't just another coworker, but her friend, and she will never forget the memories they have made together.
Probably one of my most favorite, one year, right before school started, whoever they had teaching a rhythmic movement class had quit right before school started. Well, I had an undergrad in physical education, and I had taught dance before, so they had me teach that class, and I had Sandy and her sister Erlene come in and show the students how to jitterbug.
Sandy Mockles isn't the only person in her family to work at Valley. Her son Mike is the coach of the men's wrestling team. Mike Mockles said that his mom has played a role in his team's success.
When I came to work here and started the wrestling program, she was very specifically, she was their grandmother for all the kids. She was the one person that was going to give them the hug no matter what. Whether you win, lose, or draw, she was always supportive in that respect. But so in many ways, without me or without her, I wouldn't have been here. Without me, we wouldn't have had a wrestling program, and without the wrestling program, we wouldn't have 200 plus All-Americans, some world champs, and Olympians across the board. So in a very subtle way, she's affected us, had a large impact here.
Sandy Mockles is looking forward to spending more time with her husband, and while she might not work at Valley anymore, she will always bleed orange and purple. Sandy Mockles does plan on volunteering on campus and at Fitzgibbon Hospital whenever she can. And that's KMVC's news for this year. For Cooper Bryant and our KMVC News team, thanks for the support and viewership throughout the course of the year. I'm Marina Diaz.